The movie kicks off with a bang as Brooke, a fierce hybrid zombie, goes feral, attacking a soldier with brutal force. She quickly loses control, bites Grace on her neck and turns on her own brother, Barry, along with their friends, Grace and Maxi. Barry stops Grace just as she's about to shoot Brooke and hands Brooke a blood vial that helps her regain her senses. After Brooke calms down, Barry pleads with Grace and Maxi to trust them, but Grace snaps, shooting Barry and calling them both monsters before storming off. Then, we meet Reese, a soldier in the zombie apocalypse, starting his day with some serious zombie killing routine. Living alone in a fortified den, he's resourceful, using zombies to power his makeshift gas supply, water his garden, and more. When one zombie's gas runs out, he nonchalantly replaces it with another fresh one. After that, he heads out to hunt down more zombies for his boss, the Colonel, in hopes of developing a cure. Reese gets a tip-off about a survivor on a motorcycle, so he waits, ambushes him, and hauls him back to the bunker. As he hands the survivor over to the surgeon, he pushes for updates on the cure, but the surgeon only gives a vague, "We're close." Then, Reese hears about a powerful hybrid spotted nearby Brooke. With the promise of avenging his brother's death, Reese sets out to track her down. Meanwhile, we cut back to Maxi and Grace. Maxi feels guilty for abandoning Barry and Brooke, but Grace is adamant. They're monsters, not to be trusted. Out of nowhere, Grace starts transforming into an aggressive hybrid zombie, but Maxi manages to calm her down. Once Grace regains control, Maxi hands her a vial of blood to prepare for whatever's next. Just as they're moving on, a rocket hits their car, flipping it over. Reese arrives to check out the wreckage, but only finds the zombie they were using as fuel. Suddenly, Grace hurls a grenade at him and charges, but her attacks barely faze him. When she tires out, Reese knocks her down with ease and hauls her into his truck. Maxi, hiding nearby, can only watch as her sister is taken away. Meanwhile, we're back with the surgeon, who returns to his lab, fighting symptoms of a creeping infection. In a dark turn, he tortures a female zombie, draining her blood to create a serum that temporarily keeps his infection at bay. Just as he injects himself, the Colonel and his sergeant walk in and catch him red-handed. The Colonel orders the sergeant to kill him, but then suddenly, the Colonel blows the sergeant's head off, revealing he's infected too and in need of the serum. He warns the surgeon that HQ is suspicious about the low serum production, but the surgeon reassures him that capturing Brooke will solve everything. Back to Reese. Grace wakes up in the truck and immediately tries to attack, but Reese is a formidable opponent. As she becomes more aggressive, she transforms into a full zombie. Just as Reese is about to shoot, Grace manages to drink blood and snaps back to her senses. Reese, realizing she's a hybrid, knocks her out again. He returns to the bunker, where two mysterious barrels are waiting. When the Colonel steps out, Reese questions the barrels, but the Colonel brushes him off. Reese, still suspicious, reveals he's brought a hybrid back for them. As soldiers drag Grace away, she suddenly transforms, putting up a fierce fight, but they quickly overpower her. Just as they're about to shoot her in the leg, Reese steps in, calming her down. When Reese questions the Colonel about Grace's potential role in a cure, the Colonel shuts him down, ordering him to do his deliveries. Like a good little soldier. On his way, Reese's car runs out of fuel, and he finds his zombie fuel generator is out of methane. He quickly lures a new zombie, replaces the old one, and hits the road again, only to have Maxi sneak into his car. At his next bunker stop, he tries to talk to the doctor but is ignored, while Maxi hides beneath the car, watching. Grace, meanwhile, wakes up trapped in the surgeon's lab, horrified as the surgeon battles his own uncontrollable hand, which seems to turn against him, smacking him around. She watches stunned, as he kills another zombie to extract serum. Reese finally heads back to his hideout, plays some calming audio, and crashes into sleep. But just as he closes his eyes, the lights flicker. He goes to check, only to find Maxi waiting to ambush him. She knocks him out cold. The next morning, Reese wakes up to Maxi threatening him, help her find her sister or else. Reese calms her down, patches up a wound on her, and then drives through the door with her. On the way, Maxi spots a picture of Brooke and Barry in his car. Reese calls them terrorists, denying he's like them. Just then, he hatches a plan, ejects Maxi from the car, knocks her out, and brings her straight to the bunker. The Colonel shows up to collect the delivery, and is thrilled that Reese brought in the hybrid girl's sister. But when Reese hears a soldier say she's going to end up in a barrel anyway, he snaps, taking down the Colonel and his men as the surgeon and Grace watch on security cameras. Reese and Maxi escape in his truck, chased by the Colonel's crew. Despite Reese using nitro, they're still gaining on him, so Maxi bails out of the truck just before it's hit by a rocket. Reese wakes up hanging upside down as the Colonel taunts him, describing the brutal death he'll face when the zombies close in. After the Colonel leaves, the zombie horde approaches, but instead of attacking, they freeze, and Reese is stunned to see Brooke and Barry appear. Barry scolds Reese for handing Grace over, while Brooke lunges at him, demanding respect and offering a choice, friendship or a face-off. Reese wisely chooses friendship. Later, as they head to the bunker, Reese starts coughing. Barry gives him a pill and asks about it. Reese only knows it keeps him from turning. Brooke, furious, questions Reese about the Colonel's gruesome methods, but Reese insists he's clueless. Brooke unleashes her powers, tearing through guards as they storm the bunker. Inside, Barry opens a barrel, revealing a corpse to a horrified Reese. When Reese confronts the doctor, he coldly admits they use zombies to make serum. When Reese asks if the serum is a cure, the doctor admits it's just a temporary fix. Reese then learns the horrifying truth: they've been grinding zombies into powder to make his pills. Realizing he's been ingesting ground-up zombies all along, Reese snaps, killing the doctor in a rage. Barry tries to calm him, but Reese is out for revenge, vowing to help Brooke and her friends wipe out everyone in the bunker. Meanwhile, the Colonel enters the surgeon's lab to drain serum from Grace, but the surgeon warns her blood isn't ordinary. They're interrupted when they see Reese, Barry, and Brooke captured on camera. Reese and Barry send down 2 zombies rigged with bombs. As the door opens, Brooke breaks free of her cuffs, and they take down the soldiers with ease, leaving the Colonel and surgeon in shock. They send 2 more bomb-rigged zombies to clear a path, and Maxi sneaks inside, taking control of the operating room. As Brooke, Reese, and Barry storm the bunker, the Colonel orders the surgeon to handle Brooke while he deals with the others. Brooke uses her powers to pinpoint the soldiers' positions, and Reese and Barry quickly cut through them. Then, Brooke senses Grace is alive and demands they open the lab door. But as she steps inside, it slams shut, trapping her. It's a setup. Outside, the Colonel arrives, holding Maxi hostage to disarm Reese and Barry. He then throws Maxi aside and prepares for battle. Meanwhile, Brooke faces off against a monstrous zombie remotely controlled by the surgeon. Brooke fights back with her zombie monster, but the creature turns on her and quickly overpowers her. The surgeon sneers, ready to open her skull. Meanwhile, the Colonel taunts Reese for teaming up with his brother's killer and shoots Barry. Reese tries to fight back, but the Colonel overpowers him, brutally stopping Barry from reaching his gun as Reese tries to regain his strength. Back in the lab, Brooke is nearly finished by the monster. Just then, Grace, using her hybrid powers, controls the surgeon's zombified hand, giving Brooke a chance to unleash her fury on the monster. Grace even forces the surgeon to choke himself, but he quickly electrocutes her, taking her out. He reanimates the monster and goes after Brooke, but she shocks it to death, triggering the bunker's emergency systems. As the Colonel gains the upper hand on Reese, he's seconds away from pulling the trigger when Maxi blows the Colonel's head to pieces. Maxi hurries to Brooke, who's now fully in beast mode. Maxi manages to lock herself in a cage while Reese seals the door. Barry's worried, but Reese spots blood vials nearby and forms a plan. Barry tries to distract Brooke, but she bites him on the neck, then turns on Reese. Just in time, Maxi throws Brooke the blood, calming her down. As they regroup, they realize the surgeon has taken Grace and is escaping. Outside, he sets the bunker to self-destruct. Reese scrambles to find an exit, but time is running out fast. With the bunker set to blow, Brooke and Barry hatch a plan. Brooke uses Barry to charge the elevator, and she tells Reese and Maxi to escape while they wait for the explosion. Meanwhile, the surgeon sneaks into Reese's hideout, getting his serum extractor ready. Reese and Maxi, finding their van destroyed, spot a bike nearby, only to see the zombie fuel source has run out of gas. Reese finds a corpse, cracks open its skull and feeds the zombie fresh brains to get the bike running. Inside the hideout, the surgeon sets up the extractor, shoving a cannula into Grace's nose to drain her serum and jabbing a second one into his own with the help of a soldier. Just as he completes the transfer, the soldiers notice his hidden bike, but it's too late. The newly enhanced surgeon kills them both. Reese and Maxi burst in moments later to find Grace unconscious. Suddenly, the surgeon appears, easily overpowering Reese and locking Maxi in a cage. He sneers at Reese, saying he'll regret killing Reese as he has kept him alive for a year by his deliveries, then tries to drain his brain. But Grace revives just in time, stabbing the surgeon through the chest with a rod, tearing him apart. She turns to Reese, but instead of attacking him, she grabs blood, drinks it, and rescues Maxi. Maxi hugs her sister while Reese finishes off the surgeon with a final, skull-crushing blow. As Reese's condition worsens, he refuses the pills, ready to end things, but Grace and Maxi convince him to keep fighting. These pills are his way to reclaim his soul. In the final shot, the scene cuts to the bunker rubble. Brooke and Barry crawl out, alive but burnt and transformed, leaving viewers on the edge as the credits roll.